Voice in the Dark production, The Chronicles of Lori, Things I Think About, Lori Elliot. Today's thoughts, issue 1, 10/2/22. Hey, Lori here. Hope everyone is hanging in there the best you can. Times are demanding, a bit too much for most. I get it. Before we vote, I wanted to remind everyone out there, we are voting for the rights of humans, not anything else. Not social status or business, not ethnic anything, just humans. I know it seems hard at times to make room in our hearts for all people. However, it is necessary at this time in our lives to reach beyond that which is normal, that which is our only concern, that which is more than just us. We the people need to get back to the we part of this. We are all together in this. If you think that saving a couple dimes is in some area that helps others who have fallen, then I must and might suggest you are not seeing the whole picture here. No monies will ever come back to us. But if we can get some of the monies to help take the load off the middle class who supports this country, which I might add is shrinking, the rich take the most, then the war machine, then the poor, the arts, education, health care, and food stamps and Social Security. As long as when you vote for what you truly believe is to help the greater whole, then by all means, go for it. I am asking everyone to just sit back in silence, alone before you vote, and vote for the heart, not the pocketbook. The monies will only get reallocated to something else, not back to us. It never does. Let us make sure it goes to keep the balance for the people. We are standing on a precipice of great change. Either way we look at it, what it amounts to is this. Do we wish to work towards a greater enjoyment of our country and each other? Or do we wish to allow everything we ever worked for and watch how it leaves us in a dark world of ugliness? Our ancestors worked hard to bring better lives to the people. Better wages, better homes, safety on the roads, work, and neighborhoods. We climbed the mountains of crushed dreams by shortened lives that died too young due to work conditions and war. Let me educate some of you on this one thing. Over 50% of our tax dollars are spent on the war machine. Do you want to know why we are at war all the time? Because it states in the Constitution and Bill of Rights that we are to break down the armies and navies, etc., if we have been at peace for 2 years in a row. Well, we just can't close down the war machine because now we are dependent on the work it provides. I never claim to have the answers. I do know that the people must come together again as a whole group, then study the government for a bit while we study the government for a bit while we tackle the issues that are at hand. Please do not go and vote over a damn propaganda meanie. Please look up the current policies and referendums that are on the table. We cannot allow our democracy to fall. If we do not hang on to it, we will have nothing left to work for. They plan on dividing our country up into 5 sections and put people in charge of these 5 sections so that we are permanently divided. I'd rather have our democracy intact as well as our country and work from here on the problems. I love this country and what it was built on. We, the people of the United States of America, declare our independence from the crown. Be cautious is all I am saying, because from the bigger picture, this is perhaps the most important vote we will have. To vote without thinking and considering the greater picture, we will be shoving ourselves into the dark ages once again. As a species, I believe that is called genocide suicide. As I reread the Constitution, and I beseech each of you to do so, there are things that are being blatantly ignored and some things that at this time should be carefully looked at. Like there is a part that says the poor cannot vote. This is a nightmare considering a bulk of this country is poor. I am one of them. We will lose the right to vote and to be part of any decision making. Only the rich will and the upper middle class. We have so many retirees now that we have lost many intelligent voters. Please read the Constitution again and the Bill of Rights. Then look at the powers that be and how in the last 50 years or so they have slowly skipped over our rights and the Constitution. It is far worse than any of you realize. It all started with deregulations. No conglomerates was to ever be able to assemble in this country. Now look where we are, and these businesses are rearing their ugly heads and laughing at the poor sheep. We have grown so accustomed to our comforts in life here that we miss the strategic way it is being taken over. I am just asking for you to turn the TV off for a couple days before voting, to go inward with your God, your soul, or your God-given common sense. Rest in the silence and decide where you wish to be 5, 10, 15 years from now. Back on the swinging to clear up the tragedies to our country and put it back into the form of which it was created to be, or to be in the darkness. It is in each of our hands, the future we wish to see. Do we cave into our fears and hatred? Or do we grab our panties and say, we fight for what we worked so hard to bring about, because we wish to honor those who paved the way for us to have such a big, beautiful country for the people. It is with great hope that we will knuckle down and see the writing on the wall, that we will join hands. And to work together to reorganize our government and find answers to the ways it has run away from us. This country is about all of us, not just a few. There are poor, and most of them work. There are people with needs to help them rise to the dream. Are we so self-centered that in our darkest hour we would negate all others? I like to believe we all have a heart, and that heart must be activated. We will have to commit to working towards proper changes. We need a government in place that will allow us to begin the long road of putting our democracy back together again. What say ye? We, the people? Blessings and love, Lori. Just deep breathe and ask yourself what is the right way to go. Allow yourself to feel your way through this. Spirit will help you. Please share and let this get around. We need to think before we vote. We need to feel.